Well, good evening,
Hi.
everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960 AM. I come to you every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on 960 AM, or you can stream me online at www.saga960am.ca, or you can get all my video casts and podcasts after the fact on my website, briancrombie.com. Wednesday, 2 days, Jennifer Beale, one of my favorite people in Mississauga, is hosting a virtual networking event. She's been known for her summer networking event, which I've had the honor of actually presenting at in the past and attending a few times. Usually they're at Ontario Place, and it's one of the best events of the summer. But this year she's going to have it virtually. And so number one, I wanted to talk with her about her event. Number two, I just wanted to talk to her about networking in COVID-19 virtually and what it's all about. So Jennifer Beale, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you so much, Brian, for having me on here. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? You're like this person who interacts with people all the time. You must be going a little bit stir crazy.
Yeah, you know what? Zoom's been really good, and I do see people, and I'm in my community. We have a farmer's market here, so I see them, and I walk my dogs, and I see my neighbors, and I'm finding like just the people closer to me, I'm spending more time with them. And business has been busy for me, remarkably, because I do live in-person events of 1,000 people, and I can't do that anymore. And so when March came and everything shut down, I was just like, had to pivot like everybody else, I guess.
So tell us a little bit about your event on Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday, I'm doing it virtual. Virtual is so different, Brian,
not
than
next
doing
Wednesday,
something
2 days
live
from
in
now, correct?
person.
It's 2 days from now, correct? What's the date?
Yeah, it's Wednesday, August the 12th. And at
Wednesday.
the event, it's going to be virtual, but we actually have a studio up in Vaughan where we're going to be live with a stage. It's a whole TV studio and all these different sets. And then all the attendees are going to come on Zoom. And it's part like event learning and part like a TV show. And it's really cool what we've put together. I've got a great team, and we created this out of kind of nothing.
Fantastic.
So I'm
and
excited.
People want to sign up for this. Is there still time?
Yeah, there's still time to sign up for it. This event would be if you want to right now get connected with some ambitious, well-meaning business owners, form partnerships, find people that you can be doing business with. And I, we'll get into that in a little bit about this whole idea of strategic alliances and joint ventures and why they are the perfect fit for business owners right now in COVID-19. So summernetworkingbash.com is the email or the website where people can go and you can get the details there and get your ticket.
Summernetworkingbash.com. Jennifer Beale, the networking queen in Mississauga, if not the Greater Toronto Area, and someone who knows her stuff incredibly well. Tell us some of the speakers, if you could.
Yeah, well, I've got Melanie Benson coming in from the United States. Well, she's not flying in, obviously. She's going to be coming in, and she's teaching people how to be guests on podcasts, which is a great strategy in a business on using somebody else's platform to grow your following and to get clients. So she's done all the hard work to get a podcast going. You can go on her podcast, and other people have followings as well. So she's going to come in and teach people how to do that, how you can leverage other people's podcasts, go on just as a guest. You don't have to create your own, and you can start getting clients. I've got Steve Lowell from Ottawa, who's actually coming into the studio and going to perform on the stage. He is one of the world's top international speakers, award-winning, best-selling international book author, and he's going to focus on how you build your reputation up and emerge as like the unmistakable leader in your industry. So reputation, how do you do that? And he's going to spend time with us that day showing us how to do it, telling us all about it.
Awesome. So you've got quite the lineup. You're going to do it virtually. You're going to do it from a TV studio, and you're going to somehow be able to connect people with others as well in the audience.
We're going to have networking sessions where people can meet each other, and we're going to learn, and then we're going to put what we learned into practice.
Excellent.
And the whole idea of joint ventures is that it's a way for you to connect with other people and achieve your goals as well as them achieve their goals, plus a common goal by sharing resources. So we're going to be sharing that day 20 different strategies, joint venture strategies that people can be using right now, which they're great because you end up when you're doing joint ventures, you end up like spending less on your overhead because you don't have to pay anything up front. sometimes maybe you'll pay a referral fee on the other side, and you're joining together to share those resources. So your revenue goes up, your expenses go down, and that means you make more profit in your business. And
Excellent.
we're helping each
talking
other, 'cause
tonight
right
with
now
Jennifer
we need a
Beale.
lot of help.
Jennifer Beale is the networking queen. She's got a big event coming up on Wednesday called summernetworkingbash.com. Check it out. We're going to take a break for some messages and come back more with Jennifer in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're talking tonight about networking. We have Jennifer Beale, who has an event coming up on Wednesday called the Summer Networking Bash, summernetworkingbash.com. Jennifer, just before the break, you were talking about 20 strategies to joint venture. Can you give us a sense of any of them?
Yeah, let me give you some examples. So I think what people know the best would be barter. And barter is when one person exchanges goods and services with another person for their goods and services, but they don't exchange any cash. It's a cashless deal. So for example, one thing that I did was I needed to have somebody write some blog posts for me. So in exchange for that, I did some coaching for that person. It was a barter. We didn't exchange any cash on it. We exchanged equal for equal value in what we did. So that's an easy way for people to joint venture with people and get their costs down right now.
Right.
That's one way. And another one, which I love the best, I call triangles. So triangles involves 3 people. And there is somebody who wants to buy something, and there is a company, a business that can sell it to them. And then there's a third person who connects them together. And so when you do a triangle, then the person who does the connecting together gets paid a referral fee for making that connection. And this is something that I've been doing a lot of during COVID-19 that has been very successful. So let me tell you a couple of things I did.
Okay.
One is there was a company that wanted to recruit a business consultant. And so I found somebody for them and made the introduction. And they paid me $7,500 just for making the connection.
Fantastic.
No, this is like, it's great. And then I took another one of my associates and introduced her to 100 people. And she made $66,000 in 1 week. And that was in the middle of April during COVID, when everybody thought nobody was doing business.
Yeah.
And so the triangles are very powerful, very, very powerful way for people to make money with very little effort. You just need to connect people together, and then you get paid a referral fee. And a third one that I like is when people bundle. So bundling is when you take your services and you find another company that's complementary that has different services, and you bundle them together. And so when you're bundling, what somebody can do then is one of the people will now appear as a larger company offering more services, go to their existing clients and their prospects and say, hey, we now offer this new service. And the other company likewise will do it. So you're each now bundled up together. You're not having to pay to get into each other's customer list. You're going to share each other. And then if something happens, where there's business that happens, you get a new customer, then you pay the respective person a referral fee. So example of that could be, say you've got a computer company. Maybe they have software, or maybe they have computer hardware. We know now that people in offices working from home, companies are having to adjust and make sure that their employees have the right equipment that they can work from home. And that causes a lot of risk for cybersecurity. So say a company like that connected up with a cybersecurity company, and now they can go to the company and say, yes, we also offer cybersecurity, without having to develop this whole new division in their company and develop it that way. They bundle it up together. They're offering the service together. And so again, it helps people expand their business, get more clients, but you don't have to spend extra money on the overhead. You increase your revenue, and therefore you're making more profit.
Now, those are 3 great ideas, bundling and triangles and barter. But how do you find the people that you want to do this business with?
Yeah, once you get it that you want to be doing all of this, then you need to find people. Well, a great place to find them is going to be on Wednesday, August 12th at the Summer Networking Bash. That's for sure. We've got almost 1,000 people registered to attend, and you're going to be able to meet with the people. So everybody's there with the same mindset. They want to learn how to do joint ventures. You'll be breaking off into networking sessions to meet these people and book appointments with them and see what kind of joint venture deals you can do with them. So that's one place. But you can find these people pretty much anywhere. And I would suggest as a start, you would go to people you already knew. Go to the people that you already know, like, and trust, and talk to them about what they're doing and come up with a way that you could be sharing your resources. You need to know what resources you have to share, and you need to find somebody who has resources that you want. And likewise, they need to want the resources that you have. Right. And, you're not creating a new business entity or anything. You're just joint venturing. So it could be on a project, could be just one deal, or it could be long-term on many, many deals. It's up to you what you want to do with it.
Now, is this joint venturing you talk about significantly different than the networking that people would have been doing and thinking about in the past?
Yeah, I think with networking, what people are doing is they're looking directly for clients and maybe some referral partners. And referrals is a type of joint venture you can do with somebody with referrals. But when you're doing joint venturing, you're actually just taking it all and putting it on steroids. So instead of looking necessarily for like the direct connections with everybody you meet at a networking event, you're now looking for partners. You're looking for people where you can do bigger things together. And really, the sky's the limit. The possibilities are endless. It's really a matter of the two people or more getting together and being creative about how it could work.
So, one of my criticisms of networking in the past, and frankly, some of the people that go to either your events in the past or other events that I've been to, is it sometimes feels very transactional, like it's what isn't it for me, and what you're talking about really is helping someone else, and then that ends up helping you.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the economy right now, and I'm looking at the state of people, and I'll tell you what I'm seeing out there. Everybody's putting on a really good face, and a lot of people are not doing well right now. This is an opportunity for people to help each other. And I'm reading in the newspaper of people who, in 4 months have accumulated so much debt in their small business, it's going to take them 10 years to pay it off. But this is wrong. This is a time for us to come together and help each other out more. And the way to do that is to be creative and share our resources together and do it as real business. This isn't a handout. This isn't a charity. This is about, let's put a joint venture deal together where we're both going to make money from that, and we're going to help a lot more people. And so, like in any economy, all you have to do is look to see where the money's moving. And like in this economy, money's still moving. The money's still it's just changed how it moves in this economy. So you start looking, where's the money moving? And what I did was, because my business would not work, I started looking for businesses that could work, that could do business. And I went in there and said, how can I help you? Find more clients. Would you be willing to pay me if I found them for you? And they agreed. And so I've been able to keep my business afloat, even though I am unable to do an in-person event. My business is still shut down. I've had to, doing the virtual is a replacement, so to speak, but it's not my business. It's something new I had to create.
And your business was live events? Live
in-person events. Yeah, where people can't, like 1,000 people, we can't do that right now.
Can't do that for sure.
We can't do that right now. And so this worked for me exceptionally well. And I know that this can work exceptionally well for anybody else. I formed a group around me of people. We're doing deals. Like some of the deals we're on, Brian, it's crazy. There's one deal, $40 million deal that we're involved in. Other ones are $1 million, and down from there. There is money moving in this economy. And if people can come together and learn these skills, and they can, and go out there and find these deals and get involved in them, they can make money right now. It's a different way of thinking for some people. And to your point about networking being very transactional, this is about partnership. This is about relationship. This is about working together and helping each other in a very difficult time that none of us have ever experienced before.
How do you create a relationship online?
Pardon?
How do you create a relationship or partnership online when you don't even actually meet the person?
Well, you can meet them for the first time when you're on there, and then you book an appointment. I've got this thing called a Mobi card now. And so I when I'm on a virtual networking event, I post my Mobi card, and then people can email me and request an appointment. And then we get on the phone and we talk to each other. And it's the same as if you met them over coffee. You talk to them on the phone, and you're certainly going to do, find out who else they know, and do some checks on who these people are and are they credible in their business, and to work with them. It's the same thing. Nothing's really changed other than you can't sit across from them, having a drink.
I do think that the way we're doing it now via video is far better than just the telephone. And I think some of the people's concerns in the past about not meeting people in real life was that you wouldn't be able to read their facial features and their body language and stuff like that. And while this is far from perfect, it's a lot better than from just hearing the voice and or just reading the words in a text or an email. And I've really found it. We've talked about physical distancing because of COVID-19, and I think that's the better terminology than social distancing, because I think that we really need to be socially connected with other people. And so I hate it when people talk about socially distant. And I think that, you reach out and touch someone through the internet, and it works okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's much preferable to call it physical. We're physically distanced from each other, and we need to socially connect with one another. Now, the truth is relationships take time to establish. So if I were to meet somebody and they said, hey, promote this right now, I would say, well, let's get to know each other the same that I would if I was meeting somebody live in person. It just takes time to get to know people. And so it's like, come in my circle, come and hang out with me, meet some other people that we have. The other thing that I do, Brian, is I do something small. And I recommend all people do that. I do a little small deal first. And if that goes well, then we can do something a little bit bigger. And if that goes well, then maybe we'll do something bigger. And that way the relationship builds with trust over time. And, we're not getting too involved in big business deals that, could go south and turn out not very nice. So
Jennifer, I've interviewed probably 2 or 3 dozen different companies over the course of the last couple of months in regards to how they've dealt with COVID-19. And, some have just battened down the hatches and hoped that things would get better, which would be sort of if you closed up your shop and just waited till live events could start again. But the more successful, the more entrepreneurial, the more dynamic individuals have reinvented their business and tried to figure out what the new normal is. And as they've described to me what they did, all of them described how critically important their contacts were, their network, their friend group, their business group. I interviewed George Irwin, the CEO of Irwin Toys, who he found out that their supply chain was just like stopped and people weren't going out and buying toys anymore at all. And if they were buying any toys, it was online, not from the places that he was selling them at. And so he was looking at, what he was going to do. And by chance, he ended up getting a call from someone who said, what about supplying masks? By chance, he ended up talking to a local hospital that desperately needed masks. By chance, that local hospital CEO said, I've got a whole contact of a whole bunch of other people that just yesterday I had a conference call with that need more masks. And through a bunch of connections, he ended up creating quite a business. And that kind of
a new business and the new reality based on what people need right now. And there are some industries that are emerging well, and PPE is one of those, that's for sure. Cybersecurity, e-learning, on the more consumer side, pets. So many people went out and got pets. So that's a booming industry right now as well.
But it's all been through a couple of connections. And so those cultivating that network, those associations, those joint venture partners that you've got, I think is critically important in life.
Yeah, one thing that I'm noticing right now is I'm meeting people who, when we were in different times, they were at the trade shows and they were phoning people and knocking on doors. And to your point about networking, for them was transactional. Well, right now they don't have those contacts because it wasn't relationships, but they're coming to me wanting the relationships that I've developed over the years. And so connectors like me become quite valuable in an economy like this because we've established relationships
already. People. Yeah, no question. Mm-hmm. So remind us how we figure out where your event is and go. It's summernetworkingbash.com.
Yeah, summernetworkingbash.com. It's Wednesday, August 12th. We'll start at 9 in the morning until 5:30. And it's a day where, regardless of what you know about joint ventures and strategic alliances and referrals, you can come to this event. You're going to learn about how to do it, and then you're going to put it into action and start practicing it. You're going to meet people and find potential joint venture partners. In the afternoon, we're doing a thing called Let's Make a Deal, and I'm bringing in some big deals for people. Like, they could actually start making money right at the event. And we'll cap it off in the end with a networking session where people, again, can continue to meet people and find those people that they can strike up some good, solid relationships with and do some joint venture deals together.
Awesome. I recommend everyone that's interested in networking, interested in strategic alliances, joint ventures, that has some time on Wednesday. Check out thesummernetworkingbash.com. Jennifer Beale's events are always excellent. Jennifer, I want to finish up by telling you a story. So this teacher was told all the students in her class to write their name on a balloon, blow the balloon up, and fill up the whole room with balloons with their name on it. Then she asked them all to go find their balloon, and she gave them a couple of minutes to do so. And they were scrambling around, and some found the balloon, but a lot didn't, and she stopped them. Then she said, let's try it a little bit different. Now what I want you to do is the very first balloon you see, read the name and go give that balloon to the person who owns that balloon. And she said, go. And within 10 seconds, they had completed the assignment.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The collaboration and working together and making things happen. I love it.
The moral of the story is
what we need right now in this economy.
Help someone else achieve their goal, and in the end, you'll achieve yours.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much for joining us tonight, Jennifer.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We're going to take another break. Stay with us.